Hello. Okay. So we're doing this all wrong. I'm struggling with OBS people. Oops, so just give me a moment. We'll fix it later. Anyway, we'll hop over to a different view. See where we're at. Did I not pick a different camera? Nothing is working. OBS. Why aren't you doing what you're doing? Okay, I'm tripping. Okay, OBS is showing that camera. YouTube showing that. It's showing me. Let's see. Where are we actually at? Got a delay on the video here. So, all right, so I'm going to stand by the bike. I think that's where we're at. Where by the bike? Is that you? Is that you? Echo, 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 echo. All right, so this is probably the worst live stream you've ever seen, but I'm pretty good at doing the worst things that people have. All right, so that angle does look super dark from here, and maybe not so great. We're like in the bike. So we need some more light. We're gonna see about turning this light up over here. Slightly more light. Is anybody in this room? Do I see two people there? Hey, say hello. I can see you in the chat. All right, so we don't look as dark over there as I thought I did. But anyway, we're going to go to this camera here. Here, switch that. So that should put us in a cool angle like this. And we're going to talk to this camera. And I'm just going to tell you guys what to do there. We've got this awesome old Miraco 18-inch BMX bike. And we're going to do a little bit of restoration to it. We're going to put some new parts on there, new tubes, brake cables, that kind of stuff to get it running good. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty sick bike once we do that. So let's get into this. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and just pop that back wheel on there. It's right there. And we're going to check and see if these new tires are actually going to fit in there. Because as you guys know, modern BMX tires are in the mid school, like this Miraco. And we're going to see if that'll fit. Because if not, we're not putting it. Go ahead and pop that off there. We're going to need our 17 millimeter Allen wrench. Open and box wrench. It's not an Allen wrench. So now we're going to switch cameras. You guys should be seeing me from over here. Hopefully. If everything's working like it should. Now let's pop that off. Using our 17, break these nuts free. And there's no air in that tire, so it should fit out of the brake pretty easily. So it looks like 3 people have entered the chat since this whole thing has started, and that's pretty cool. So thanks to everybody for who has joined in here. Grab a tire lever. Go ahead and pop this off the rim here. It's gonna fight me. So we have 2 tire levers. Tight fit. There we go. So we're just doing some late night bike repairs, hanging out in the basement. Because what else are you going to do on a Friday night? Go out and party and get drunk? That doesn't sound like fun at all. Especially to somebody who doesn't drink. So yeah, as you can see, this tire is much bigger than the one that's coming off there. So go ahead and get that on the rim. And yeah, I'm going to talk to myself the whole time through this, and hopefully you guys will say something in the chat and be like, "What's up, Pete?" Or if you have any questions about your own bike repairs, feel free to throw those out. I'll be checking the chat. And I hope to do more live streams soon. So I've got all this equipment to do it, and I've been putting it off for like a year. And now we're just going to start doing it, enjoying your company. All kinds of different live chats, live streaming. And with the channel memberships, if you notice, there is a live stream weekly going on for that. And channel memberships do help me out. Just like comments, liking, and subscribing. All that fun stuff. All right. So when you get these tires on, since it was a tight fit, you want to try to get the bead of the tire as close to the middle of the rim as possible. That way that you have as much play around the tire as you can get. You also want to start at the valve and work your way away from it. And voila, it's on there. Oh, that pump sucked. Oh no. What will we ever do? Let's see if it'll work on this one. The things you don't check before you start your live streams. Do I have the right tools to do this? Oh, it's working. Yay. Don't ever buy an Evo pump. They really suck. They're cheap, but they suck. Sorry if I sold you one. All right, so we got just a little bit of air in there. We're going to see if we got some clearance. I think I went to the wrong one. No, I went to the right one. We're going here. Hopefully you guys can see. Can you see? Woohoo. Let's go ahead and pop this brake pad out of here. It's funny watching on the screen here, everything's happening a few minutes later. Oh, I switched it to the wrong screen. We want to go to 1. Sorry. I'm terrible. Ooh, those berries feel super crunchy. May do a full teardown on this hub. All right. So luckily, looks like we're going to have clearance for that tire. So let's go ahead and pull that back out of there. This other brake pad off here. One of the nice things about this bike is the axle nuts are the same front and not finding tools anywhere. If you're not familiar with the Miraco brand, um, of the BMX fame from the 90s, 80s, 2000s, the entire BMX world, you know, Dave Merrick. And if you don't know, you should definitely Google that. He was the man. But yeah, these old tires coming off of here. And I probably should have got some soapy water to start off. But, you know, first live stream issues. Don't think about everything in advance. Also having mic trouble. I have like 3 different microphones around here. But for some reason, I can't get them to work. And I think you guys are hearing me through my AirPods. Because that's what I'm hearing you through. It's cool with me. But just let me know if the audio is terrible. If you want. If you don't, then just click the like or something. That'd be cool too. So the reason this bike is getting put back into service is because the kid in the world, let me rephrase that, the coolest boy kid in the, I know there's a lot of like debate about like saying which kid's the coolest, but this one deserves a rad BMX bike, and we're gonna get him set up with it, and hopefully you'll be finding out about that soon. I just feel like this might be a better angle. Do you guys like this angle better? Say something in the comments there. Yeah, I like this one better. Or why are you showing me how bad of a bike mechanic you are? It's because I waited till midnight to do this. That is a tight fit. But I probably waited till midnight because I've been all super antsy and stuff about this. The special kid who gets this bike and everything. Big deals, big life changing things. So, we got anybody in the chat there? And I will probably get better at live streaming as we go on. But I just had to like bite the bullet and do this, or we're never going to do it. I would always be wondering, can I do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? But here we are. We're doing it. That's got a couple of 18-inch inner tubes. And put some fresh rubber in front and rear. Boom. Boom. And when you put your tubes in, you want to give them just a little bit of air. It's going to make your life a lot easier. If you try to put them in the tire when they're flat like this, it'll make it very easy to pinch it between the tire and the rim. And that's not going to be good. Once you pump it up, that'll give you some trouble. You can get a flat, pop it off the rim. Be like my glove. Flippy, flippy. All right, so we don't want to put too much in there because these are a tight fit. We know it's going to give us a struggle. So just put a little bit of air in there. Drop it. Then what I like to do is take my tire and tube, line them up to the valve hole. You got your valve and the logo on the tire. You put those right together, and that'll help you figure out where you get a flat or where your flat came from later on in the future. And this is all wrong. It's all wrong. Don't even do it like that. Don't even do it. What you want to start with, take your tire, put it on the rim. We're going to do it the proper way. And as you're putting it on, you go to the center all the way, just one side at a time. Now, just line that logo up with the valve hole. And that is a tight fit on that rim. So there we go. And now, you see how much easier that was to get the inner tube in there than it was when I was tried with the inner tube first? That was to show you how not to do it, so you can see how well it is to do it the right way. So now, get that on there. Get the tube tucked in all the way around. Starting at the valve. Walk away from that, both sides, pushing the tire up onto the rim, back and forth. And it may act like it doesn't fit, but it does. And there we go. Double check the computer, see if anybody's on. Who's on? What's up? Got a few more people stopped by to say hello. So feel free to say hello. Or don't. Just doing some late night bike repairs. If you guys search way back through my video catalog, you'll find a video called Rider Day Ramp Building. And that was the last time you saw something on this channel. And it was pretty stressful for me because it was the last time I saw something for a long, long time. It's just one of those things that you shouldn't have to go through, but I did. And in that, I can say never give up on what's important to you, because if you don't fight for what you believe in, you can lose it, and that's real easy, and that would be sad. So go back and watch that video after this, and then you'll see why we're building thick 18-inch. All right. Fresh rubber on the front. I'm gonna try something real quick here. Excuse me. Hopefully that brightened it up. Oh, it did. Hopefully it's not too much. All right. Now we got the fresh tire on the back, but I know we want to change that bearing, adjust the bearing. That felt just a little crunchier than I'd like. We're going to tip you. Sorry for the wiggle, guys. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Yeah. And we're going to do this now. We're going to adjust the rear bearing because it feels really bad. And if you got a bad bearing, it's just not going to last. I'm surprised it's less than this one. Who do we got in the chat there? Who's on all eight? Somebody said River Cloud from Fayetteville, Arkansas. What's up? Just having some fun here, adjusting up this old bike, getting it ready for a rad little kid. Woohoo! Or at least I think so. Got some flat wrenches here. I'm gonna have to go up. 19. With our cone wrench and my big old guy here, we're just break this loose. I say we're just gonna do it. It's gonna be a struggle. Hasn't been loose in probably 10 years. Jeez. Oof. Oh, slipped off. Didn't even come. Life is moving now. That's no good. It slipped off twice. Take a step back and think about this. Got something around here that'll help? Maybe. Cone nut shouldn't even be that tight. Okay, that should. What would you do in this situation? Use the mallet. We just might. I should probably screw this bench down. It's a little moving off. What the devil? Put a little drop of oil on it and see if that helps. Okay. All right, mallet it is. Hopefully my neighbors don't mind. Okay, well, looks like we're just gonna have to get that adjusted up later. No, we're gonna try the other side. That's just too grindy. But that might be why it was never adjusted. Guys at the bike shop may have run into the same situation. Said, nobody will ever check that. They didn't know me. Hopefully this side will move forward. Criminy. Am I just getting weak as an old man? Serious right now. Like I'm an amateur or something. Oh, there we go. All right. So now that we've completely knocked it out of adjustment, let's get it close. Feel how smooth it is. Crappy. It's not smooth at all. Getting closer. Nope. Unfortunately, this side is adjusted. Or shouldn't say that. It's this side that's out of adjustment, where these are cheap, crappy hubs. They have independent adjustments of the driver mechanism and the bearing adjustment. Yay. But you see we've got a little bit of play here in the free hub, or driver as it's called, but the axle still feels gritty. Tells us we have to adjust it out on that side. Go back to the drawing board. And since I can't feel how smooth this is by the axle, I'm going to set it back by the tension on the free hub here. Driver. If this was a mountain bike, it'd be a free hub. Not really, because it's a single machine driver. Sorry. Self-debate. Oh, yeah. All right, so that part's still smooth. And that's what you really want to look out for on these non-tooth driver hubs with blue spall bearings. If this side is over tightened and grimy, it's going to destroy the bearings real quick because they're teeny tiny balls. On this side, we got 1/4-inch balls, and it's good to have them adjusted, but it's less terrible, I guess, if you can't get it perfect. We'll try this one more time and then give up and move on to the rest of the bike. I've got some other sweet upgrades, also known as upgrades. Get my body behind it. Every time I get a good bit of torque on it, this guy just pops off. Good 18, 19 millimeter. Park Tools, right? Name brand. Should stick. Good job. I don't think it's going to. Okay, I'll fight with that tomorrow or later and just admit defeat tonight. Yeah. Sorry, guys. And gals, if there's any ladies watching. Don't mean to be sexist. But I'm really just worried about that. I'm lying, just so I feel better about myself. But we'll just build a profile hub. This kid deserves it, right? Because here in a little bit, we're going to be putting the profile crank on the bike. Oh, yeah. Profile racing cranks. And I believe it has a titanium spindle with titanium bolts. Mm-hmm. Did that work? Which camera did we switch to? I never know. Hopefully. We'll find out in a second. I feel like I went to that one, but I could be wrong. That's what I meant to do. This chain looks super crappy as well. Look at it. It's all cruddy. See? That's right, I did it. No. This chain is terrible. Does it have a master link? Let's see. Master link chain. Nope. What will we ever do? Oh no. Gonna look over here and be like, I'm gonna get my chain tool that's right. Where's my chain tool, guys? What'd you do with it? Since we moved everything here, what'd you do with my chain tool? It's just terrible. We're completely unprepared for this. I am sorry. You should definitely subscribe because it'll make me a better person. Chain tool. Over here. Had every intention of cutting chain. Really did. You got a new chain over there. Let's go look over here. Be right back. I found a chain tool, but alas, it is not the chain tool. Oh. For those wondering, this is the chain tool I found. You can't see it from here. You're not allowed. I'm just gonna keep talking, keep you interested. Like, who's on the other end of this? So my chain tool may actually be in my emergency repair kit. We'll see if we can replace the chain without breaking my shadow conspiracy chain tool. Oh, it's awful dark over here. So, let's see. Because this is actually meant for cutting half-link chain. And those things are super weak. And so are these chain tools. All right, the chain's coming off. Now we're chainless. What was his name? Mid-school rider. from Ohio? Anybody know? Me either. Okay, so we got the chain off. Next thing we need to do is get these cranks off. Gonna take a 6mm, 5mm, and some pounding. Alright, so I think I did it right. One more time. So hopefully you guys are looking at me from over here right now. Is that how it's working? Are you guys seeing me? Where are you guys looking? Oh no. I need faster internet in my basement. It did work just how I wanted. Yay. Going back for the name brand instruments, we've got the Park Tools Allen key set HXS 1.2. Great set, minus the broken plastic. When you're doing these pinch bolt type of cranks, you want to make sure that you loosen the pinch bolt first. Oh, listen to that. It's perfectly lubricated squeaky metal. All right, so that came loose pretty good. Go ahead and get the crank retaining bolt off. Oh my goodness, wrong side. They are both 6mm. Go ahead and stick this in here. Oh yeah. And before we pull it all the way out, we're gonna smack it with a hammer. Get the old hammer here. I'm gonna use a rubber mallet. Try and keep the noise down for my neighbors. Because like I said, this is some late night bike repair. But you know that because you're up and watching. If you're watching at midnight, are you watching? Are you watching? I feel like you are. This is also a test and an experiment in just getting more used to talking to these silly cameras. These things are spooky. They just stare at you. They don't say anything. Yep. That guy's crazy with the dreadlocks, working on bikes in the middle of the night. I totally meant to like change the name and everything, but I'm really bad with OBS and all that goodness. All right, so we got the crank arm off. I'm going to take these spacers, pull those off as well. Look at that. And stay. Woohoo! What else we got going on in the chat there? DC. Yeah. Just over there in the mountain. Or over the mountain. Now time for some overkill. Ooh. Rattle, rattle, clank, clank. Who likes profile cranks? Right? Profile. Oh, wait. Yeah, everybody likes profile crank. I do. Luckily, this thing already has a 19 millimeter spindle for bottom bracket, so we don't have to change that because these cranks that I have a European bottom bracket, which, unless you have a race bike from 10 years ago, you're never going to use them. Although you might, because here I am with this 18-year-old bike. It's 10 years old. I'm really bad at math. All right, get that out. Voila. And now for the first real upgrade. Come back. I mean, of course, fresh tires are an upgrade, but go into a American-made crank set with a titanium spindle, titanium bolts. Yeah. And then the next surprise overkill upgrade for the raddest 9-year-old. Going to do an animal sprocket. Yay. The V4 animal sprocket, 25 tube. And voila. That's up there. Now it's going to take me a second to reach into my box and find my American size tools to properly do this. Because, you know, profile has to be filling in American made. There we go. Found the right one. Voila. What is that? 7:30 seconds. So yeah, those old profile stuff. 7:30 seconds. Which is awesome and stupid at the same time. It's great that it's American made, but it's a bike. Let's just make it metric system. These crank arms are like 160s or 165s. My buddy's kid had them on his race bike years ago. John, if you're watching, these were your kids. And then for the sake of not outing kids' names and doxing people, we won't say his name. But we'll get this pack opened up. So when you put your sprockets on your BMX bikes, you always need a hat washer. Unless you don't. Because there's no such thing as standard in the bike world. But there should be a standard. So that goes on there. Goes inside the sprocket. And we're all backwards here. So we're going to take your sprocket, take your hat washer into the backside, and then slide that up. Now, we get our bolt. And the previous owner already had this doused in antifreeze, so I don't need to do that. We're just kind of tighten it up here a little bit. And check the chain alignment in the frame. Oh yeah. How many spacers are we gonna run? How many spacers do you want to guess? Heck yeah. The stock colony. I started off on a Ross Piranha. That's a thing. In the 80s. Oh yeah, on the spacers, guys. What'd you guys go with? I went with 2 1 millimeters. So we'll see 6. Oh, and my little center space removed. Come on. There we go. All that's clearing. Well, I think we have a winner. Yeah. Did we come here? Are we on this camera? This delay is killing me. Are we on that camera? Is that the great camera? Are you green? Where have I gone? Still over here? Oh no, I did. I came over here. Sorry guys. I'm still learning my equipment. 7:30 seconds. Right there. But I may have to pull it off one more time because we may not have enough spindle or too much spindle on one side. If we have too much on the other side, then I'll have to pull it back off and put a couple more spacers in there. But that chain line looks pretty good. I'll go one more spacer on the non-drive side, then the drive side. Now for the fun part. With these 48 spline spindles, bring some light over here. Come on, light. What are you doing? Get bright. Get bright. How can you see it? So, teeny tiny splines in there. Piggity splines. Those are going to be hard to straighten up on that spindle. So watch me struggle. There's no way that worked on the first try. Did it really? I like your guess of 2 as well. 2 is the way. Speed this up with some ratcheting materials. Oh no. That can't be. But it can, really. But it's not. Look at that. Hopefully. Oh. Nope. Womp womp. We were wrong. But luckily I have to add those sprocket spacers to the other side. Need more spacers on the non-drive side. That I'm going to have to beat back off in a non-dirty way. Unless you want it to be. I would put lots of grease on it, but you have to understand how much anti-seize is already caked on this thing. It's ridiculous. Titanium bits are going into my skin right now just from touching it. Where that glove is broken. Yeah. I probably shouldn't have done this at midnight. My neighbors hate me. Wife's gonna kill me. At least I got it pressed all the way on there before I figured it out, right? All right. I'm gonna be a jerk if I keep doing that. So we're just gonna go ahead and do the breaks, and I'll fix that in the morning. Because my neighbor's gonna get real mad. Because I do it on math. It looks like it. I'm not, I swear. Yeah, so next. Ooh, that's what we can do next. Even though it's just mocked up until I get that on there. We find our new chain. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful new bicycle chain. Not all scruffy and grimy, but chrome, nickel plated. Oh, it's there. And when you're cutting your chain, just bring it to overlap. And then cut the guts out of this link here, so this link's guts can join right up into it. Oh yeah. Be careful not to push the pin all the way through the chain, because if it comes out the second plate, it's gonna suck. And you're not gonna be able to get it back in. You're gonna think you can. You're gonna try and fight and fuss, and it's not gonna happen. I probably should have pushed just a little bit more through, but I wanted to be cautious just because I made a big point about it. And then if I did it right in front of you, I'd look real dumb. If anybody's even watching still. Because, you know, it's like 12:30 at night on a Friday. We're going to push just a little bit more through there. There we go. So what had you guys up on a Friday night hanging out, watching me work on my bike instead of partying, doing dumb stuff with your life? Because this is the coolest stuff you could do. All right. So we got that in there. Press. You want to make sure you have an even amount of the chain pin sticking out of both sides of the chain. It's going to be like a half a millimeter or something like that. And you see how it's tight? If you make a Z, you can wiggle it. Wiggle it. And make a Z to the top. And you're using the rest of the chain as leverage to wiggle it. Wiggle. Now it moves nice and free. Oh, I didn't mention the tires we went with here are Sunday tires. So the little man's getting Sunday tires. And a fresh AMC S1 chain. You're not going to get it too tight because, like I said, the idiot who was working on the bike in the middle of the night didn't put enough spacers on this side. And he's going to have to redo that in the morning. I swear, I had a set of brake pads right here. Oh, no, they're right there. Brake pads. And these are directional. So when you put them in, you want the short end going to the front. Also, pro tip that a lot of people don't know, when you're setting up U-brakes, you want to have them as wide apart as you can and get as much leverage on the brake as you can. So you want to make sure you've got room for them to get good pull and bite. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the wide spacers in there and see if we can get those on the inside. What did I drop? I dropped something. Oh no, it's over. Definitely use them wide ones on the inside. So are you all riding BMX these days yourselves? I'll have to check the chat when I get back to the computer. Because, perfectly organized and set up a professional multi-million-dollar YouTuber here. Everything's all over the place out in. Heck yeah, man. Working on bikes is something that I've always enjoyed. Did it for 17 to 20 years professionally. And it would kind of be fun to do now, but having free time is awesome. Okay, so we have the chain on, brake pads are on. Now somewhere we have a brand new brake cable kit. I'm gonna bet it's down here. I could be wrong. That's where the new brake lever is. Bet you didn't know we were getting one of those on there. I thought I was slightly more organized than this. Oh, brake cable's right there. Even though this one still pulls fairly smoothly, just a little This kid deserves the best. Oh, so we got a Salt Plus slick cable, and then this sweet little Odyssey U hanger. It's gonna go right in here. Styling it. Yeah. That's disconnected. Just need a 10 millimeter. And I don't care what anybody says about Harbor Freight. I got this thing like 6 years ago. It's awesome. Get that loosened up. Okay, snip the cable. Voila. Look at this. I even have a straddle cable. Brand new. Wait, are we on that camera? I'm so confused by that. Like looking backwards and upside down. It's not really upside down. So we have that. I'm just going to put it down there so I don't forget where it's at. And then we're going to break this free. All the other oxen free. We're going to need my other 10. How many 10 millimeters do you have? Oh no. Well, hopefully you can get your stuff soon. I can see only getting a BMX bike. If I only had one bike, it would be a BMX bike. But I'm addicted to bicycles. So I have 2, 3 BMX bike, mountain bike, another mountain bike, and another mountain bike, and a road bike. I don't have a problem, I swear. And the reason I don't have a problem is because I have an awesome partner who doesn't get mad about me having bikes because she's rad and rad bikes. Oh, I'm really torn about this grip situation. Little Odyssey grips, and they fit perfect little hands. We're gonna do it. We're gonna replace them. That one has a hole in it. I thought I had some little kids grips, and I don't. So I'm just gonna have to cut these down. Cut just like an inch off. I know, sad, right? So let's get that thing out of there. Oh, that one's gonna be good and easy, or really difficult. Got some dirt down in there. All right, not too bad. Came loose. Push it in. And it's coming out. Hooray! That's one out. This one doesn't want to come out as easy. Voila. Okay, so now I'm gonna do this the easy, always Might have an even easier one. I do. Instead of running my knife, I'll use a box knife. Just slice this grip off. And of course, I can't make a straight cut. Straight cut. Grips off. Grips off. Hello. Alright, that's it. No. Alright. So I found my 5mm. Ooh, that headset. It don't feel so hot. We're gonna have to adjust that as well. You see how when I spin that, it just kind of sticks. It should go all the way around. All the way around. Multiple times. Now, I'll loosen the pinch bolts. Loosen the top cap. Just a hair. Okay, that feels smooth. Make sure it's straight. And then, how is the audio? Because I'm not sure how great it is, but it doesn't sound terrible to me. Ew. All right. So we got one full bar spin. We'll listen up just a little bit more. All right. Now we got that on. 2 full rotations. Much better. Much, much better. What? You went dark? What's going on? We went dark. Is this the camera? This must be the camera. That camera's dead. I'm so confused by life right now. So the battery died on that camera. Because when I was getting prepared for tonight's live stream, I couldn't find my dummy battery. Found a dummy battery for this one. And every day, the dummy battery for my Lumix. My way. And I'm like, I don't need that. I really don't need that. When I need it, I cannot find. So if you see it, you just let me know. You stay safe too. Good chatting with you. Hope you get some rest this evening. I'm going to tinker for a little bit longer. Brake lever. That's what we're doing now. Electro brake lever. We need that. Now we have one beautiful Tektro brake lever going on here. I'll push that on just a little bit further than the other one was. And you can tell this is high end because it's a 4mm bolt. Only 4mm bolts are high end. So now we should be back on this camera, I think. Could be wrong. What am I doing over here? Got the brake lever on. Brake lever's on. So the next thing I want to do is clean off the bars just a little bit. Oh my goodness. Where's all my stuff? It's like I moved, and I moved again, and now I can't find anything. So just take a step back. Somewhere I've got some Vaseline. That's my Vaseline. And if you're wondering why I'm looking for Vaseline, it's because Vaseline is the best thing to put grips on with. Absolutely. So, let's search for Vaseline together. Hello, Vaseline. We're getting real intimate. I got a shelf right there. Want to see it? It's over there. Oh, you can only turn so far. See? Shelf thing. I worked hard on this angle. I hope you appreciate all of the hard work and organization that I've put into this live stream. Because I'm feeling a little lost. There should be Vaseline. I got powder. I got oil. I got bearing. I have all the things that I should have on my bench. But Vaseline. We're going to have to come back over this way a little bit. So, what'd you do with my Vaseline? All right. Well, since I have no Vaseline, we'll just go ahead and do the cable. Hello, cable. So these cables, being a slick style cable, freestyle BMX cable, it's got a little end on there. I don't know if you can see that. Not enough light. But we're going to cut that off. Because we're not using the gyro. If we were using the gyro, totally leave it on. Go back to camera 3. Now we're going to run this through the frame. See how much cabling we leave on here. How much we have to cut off. We're going to have to cut a lot off. Let's go ahead and remove the inner wire. Bring that up to about there. Oh yeah. So if a little man can do a bar spin, we'll have enough cable for that. Where the set side cut. You guys just saw them. We had them together. Thanks for telling me they were right behind me. Really appreciate that. All right. And where we just cut that off, I'm going to use my pokey. Get down in there. Make sure all the plastic and everything's out of the hole. Put on this little ferrule. That's what they call that thing. And instead of using grease, I'm just going to stick some 3-in-1, not actual 3-in-1, trapla. It's like 3-in-1 for fancy people. Are you fancy? Do you trapla? If you don't, you should. I don't really think you can call yourself a bicycle mechanic if you don't have a bottle of trafo. If you do call yourself a bicycle mechanic and you don't have a bottle of trafo, it's quite possibly you're a liar. You might not know what you're talking about. It's happened before. Kind of like me trying to live stream. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I've really been slacking on putting on videos out. Just been super, super stressed. There's just a whole lot to stress a man out these days. But they're all working out for the best. And we're getting this bike together for a super awesome kid. All right. We got that in there. We got the U plate to go on next. All right. So what I like to go and do here is connect this just a little bit up from the frame because I know the cable's going to stretch a little bit once we get everything on there. Go ahead and run that through there. Come up just a little bit from the frame because you want to have plenty of room for the cable to pull and tighten the brake, but you don't want to be so close to the frame that when the cable stretches, it hits back here. you have adjustment at your brake ferrule and here at this ferrule, but only a limited amount. It's gone, it's gone. Now using circular cutters, cut the brake cable with enough hanging off there so that you can attach your cable end. We're going to use a red one. Red. Probably can't see it. Looks black on the screen, I bet. A silhouette. And then you just get it up as far as you can and clamp it down tight. Voila. Remember that straddle cable I wigged around and shoved in your face earlier? Yeah, we put it down here. See, I remember it too. Back to the circular cut. And you'll notice this has two ends. We're going to leave the larger like that. Let me get it. Cut that. Drag this through the brake U-joint there. Connect this to the brake. Should stay in there. And to make your life easier, if you go under the brake cable, it'll stick in place better. Oh my God. All right, so we got that set. And now we're gonna squeeze the brake with our hand. And remember, we want to try and leave some room in between this area here. We don't want that brake to tighten down all the way. So if you're too close here where the cables come in, there's no room for them to pull tighter and there's no leverage. So you want to leave enough room between them so when you squeeze the brake lever, they can actually bite down. All right. And we may have to adjust the spacers in between the brake pads to get just a little bit more length there to accommodate that extra room up here. And that cable did indeed stretch. So disconnect this here. I'm going to loosen the U-joint here. And shift the cable up it just a little bit. Kind of forgot to talk to you guys there for a second. I was so focused on being stupid. Anybody else in the chat there? Anybody else come back? Nope. I'm glad to see that we've had at least 21 viewers pop in. If you've never been here before, I'm Pete. I pretend to know what I'm doing. I'm just kidding. I'm actually really experienced. 20 years in the bike industry. Yeah. Now I'm just a regular old dude in his basement, turning wrenches. Except I have a few accreditations and taking classes with Park Tools and Fox and all kinds of other fun stuff. I think we went too far that time. Did we go too far? Just a hair. Wah, wah, wah. So this is where patience comes into play. Might not everybody can be a mechanic. It is definitely trial and error, and there is lots of error. Almost in there. These gloves, we'll blame the gloves. It's always something we can blame. Oh, there it is. Go in. It's gonna be so hard to get in, but as soon as I do, that's gonna happen. See that? He struggled, and then the cable just slid. Like, huh? All that force. Now I'm gonna move when you don't want me to. When you just kind of move a little, and you went all the way. So now you can use your vice grips to support your cable, test your adjustment. Oh, that's pretty close. So now, try to add just a little bit of tension to the cable right here. Not a lot of it, just a little bit. That should be good for now. Takes the little guy a little while for his little fingers to stretch that cable. Well, this has been fun, but I probably should have started earlier on this late night bicycle repair. So tomorrow morning, we're going to do some early morning bicycle repair because by noon, I want to be able to deliver this bicycle to the kid. I don't know if you're going to see that, but you might. So come back, like, subscribe, eat a donut, and stay red.